Hello, I am Muralidhar, maths teacher for the last 55 plus years. I have taught state level syllabus, CBSE, ICSE and ISC, A levels, IUB, SAT, GMAT, GRE, AP calculus, all such courses which are in developed countries also. I have about 25 years of experience in India and 30 years abroad. Now I am on online teaching. Today I would like to teach about inverse trigonometric functions. Before I actually get into the topic, you require some previous knowledge which you may be having. But still, to my satisfaction, first I will give you the previous knowledge and then start further. We have discussed, or you should have studied, that if there are two functions, two sets A and B, which has elements like A, B, P, Q, by some rule, as a function, A is associated with this, B is associated with this, with some function. That is, f of A is equal to P, f of B is equal to Q, and this is a function. What type of function is this? This is 1 on 2 function. Why 1? Because one element is associated with only one element. So it is 1. It is onto, in this set, there is no element left. I said function from A to B. When I am talking of B to A, there is no element which is not associated. Every element here is associated here. If there is no element left, it is called onto function. Now, all these elements A, B, they get as domain. We call it as domain. And PQ, which you find, we can call it as range. That means A goes to P. The result of function on A, it is P. The result of this function on B is equal to Q. Now, if I think the reverse way, this way, this is called F inverse. Only 1 on 2 functions have inverse functions. Other functions have no inverse function. 1 to 1 and on 2. Only these other functions will not have inverse function. And this is having inverse function because every element of this is associated with a unique element which is the condition for the function. Therefore, there is function, there is inverse function. Only this. And this is the first part which you should know. What is inverse function? In other words, this domain of the function, domain of f, range of f, when you find the inverse function, for the inverse, range becomes the domain for f inverse. For f inverse, range is the or range becomes the domain. and domain becomes the range. This is the inverse function. Okay? This is about any function, inverse function, not exactly trigonometric function. Now, when we go to trigonometric functions, what will happen? Let us just see. You know, you have studied in 11th standard trigonometry, trigonometric values, etc. There are certain standard values. There are 15 standard values which you are supposed to remember. What are they? 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, or 0, pi by 6, pi by 4, pi by 3, pi by 2, all in radians. You know that there are two types of measuring the angles. One is degree measure, another is this one. How do we remember these values? Sine theta, sine 0, what is the value? Just see how to remember it very easily. You cannot mug up all the 15 values. Just see here, by 2, by 2, by 2, by 2, by 2. All values by 2 I wrote. Then root 0, root 1, root 2, root 3, root 4. What is 0 by 2? 0. What is root 1? 1 by 2. Root 2 by 2, you can keep it like this, or you can also write 1 by root 2, because 2 is root 2 into root 2, 1 root 2 gets cancelled. Here leave it like this, root 3 by 2. Root 4 is 2, 2 by 2 is 1. These are sine theta values. Sine 0. Okay? Now, cos. Whatever values you got for sine, write in the reverse order. 1, root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, half, 0. Sine, cosine values are over. Tan. You know sine theta by cos theta is tan theta. So 0 by 1 is 0. 1 by 2 by root 3 by 2 is 1 by root 3. 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2 is 1. Root 3 by 2 by half is root 3. 1 over 0 is infinite. So sine values, cos values, tan values. Only if you remember this, all the 15 values you remember. You have to remember this. You can go to the examination hall, take it on the paper, rough line, one line you draw, rough work you say, and write this. Because in the paper there will be so many times which you will be getting questions on this. So that is what is called exact values. What, say for example, when you see the tables, you will say root 3, 1.732, or root 3 by 2, 1.73 by 2 is 0.866, and like that. We cannot plot them properly. We have to stop them at a decimal place. So always it is advantageous to use these values, and this is the easiest way of remembering these values. How? Now I will give you a simple idea of inverse trigonometric function. When I write here sine theta is equal to half. Sin theta is equal to half. Maybe it's not visible there. I am changing the place. Sin theta is equal to half. Inverse trigonometry means theta you have cut. Sin 30, for example, sin 30 is half. So theta is half. But how do we write this? Theta is equal to sin inverse of half. We will write like this. That means for what values of sin theta or for what values of theta, sin theta is half. That is called inverse function. So question, suppose what is sin inverse half, they ask. You know this table, half is here, 30, sin function, okay? Sin 30, theta is equal to 30. You are finding the value of theta. And they say cos 45 is equal to, cos 45 is equal to 1 by root 2. So instead of 45, suppose they say cos theta is 1 by root 2. What is theta? For what value of theta? Cos theta is 1 by root 2. Cos theta 1 by root 2. 45 degrees. Answer is 40. See, you have found the inverse of sin, cos. So this is inverse function because there is a function. If it is x value, this is y value. If y value is given, you have to find x value. That's all. That is inverse trigonometric function. These values are most important. When I am drawing the graphs, these values, because I remember, I write. If you don't remember, draw this table and then you can write it as easily as I am writing. Okay? Now, I will start one inverse function, sin inverse function. Its graph, how to draw the graph. Okay?